Hello students, welcome to your science class. Today we are going to begin a new chapter, that is chapter 13, Fun with Magnets of your NCERT science textbook. You all know what is a magnet. Many of you might have seen it, played with it and have understood for what it is used for. In this chapter, we are going to learn more fun facts about magnets. Observe the image. Here, a boy and a girl are holding magnets. You can see the magnets are straight in shape, so they can be called magnetic bars. If you observe properly, N and S are marked on these magnets. That means they indicate the north pole and south pole of the magnet. That means the magnets have poles. If you see here, north pole and south pole are getting attracted towards each other. That means in a magnet, opposite poles attract each other and same poles repel each other. These are the key points about a magnet which most of you already know. So here the magnets are usually having two poles, that is north pole and south pole. It can be of any shape, but the magnet has two poles, that is north pole and south pole. Opposite poles of two different magnets usually attract each other, and same poles of any two or more object or two or more magnets repel each other. So these are the key points to be remembered. First, let us understand the definition of a magnet. What is a magnet? A magnet is a piece of iron, steel, etc. It is a kind of a metal that has a property to attract and pick up other metal objects. In the image near the title, you can see a U-shaped magnet. If we call a straight magnet as a magnetic bar, a U-shaped magnet is called a horseshoe magnet, as it resembles a horseshoe shape. This horseshoe magnet attracted the nails, which are also made of metals, usually iron. That means a magnet is a piece of iron which attracts other metal objects towards it. Before we get into the main concepts and characteristics of magnets, let us have a small introduction about magnets. You might be seeing using magnets at some or the other purposes at your house, at your building, at your school, at etc. at any places. But we do not observe sometimes that the action is actually being carried by a magnetic effect over there. Let's now discuss about such examples of magnets in our everyday life. Children, have you ever heard of a place called junkyard? Or have you ever observed it while going by road? Junkyard is a place where a lot of waste material is usually piled into huge heaps. It is usually located far from public places or outside the city or town. At these places, a crane usually moves towards this heap of junk to separate the waste material. The long hand of the crane lowers a block at the edge of its hand over a heap. Usually what we think is it is only picking some waste from the heap. But what actually happens is many pieces of iron objects or the junk iron sticks to the block as it moves. All the metal junk get attracted to this block of the crane hand and then it usually moves away. This huge block at the edge of the crane hand it is a magnet where all the iron objects or the metals are picked up by this metal block and separated from the heap of junk. It saves a lot of time and it is the easy method for separation of metals from these junk. You all might have played with magnets, knowingly or unknowingly, with the objects that carried magnet in them, right? We might stick few fun magnetic stickers with alphabets or emojis or images to few iron surfaces like almirahs or to the doors of the fridge, or you might have seen at someone else's place usually also. Some most common items that have magnet in them and those we come across more frequently are: first, a pin holder. A pin holder has a magnet in it which holds all the pins at one place without getting scattered. As these pins are made of some metal, these can be held at one place by the magnet present in this pin holder. So this is one such example where magnet is present in a daily life object we usually come across. Next is, some of you might have used a pencil box where the lid fits tightly when closed it even without a locking arrangement. That is because a magnet get holds of this lid to not to open when disturbed unintentionally. The speakers or the woofers in the sound system are actually based on a magnet. They work with the help of a magnetic system built within it. If you observe carefully, the fridge door, which gets automatically tightly held to not escape the cooling to the outside, is because of a magnet present at the lining of its edges of the fridge door. They are not so tightly held because a magnetic gasket helps us to freely remove the door against that magnetic field. Now, in your notebook, list few items present at your house which have magnets in it. What is the story of magnets? How were they actually discovered? Let's learn now. Around 600 BC time, once upon a time, there was a shepherd who lived in Greece. His name was Magnus. What does a shepherd do? A shepherd usually raises sheep and goats and take them around the country for grazing. Similarly, this shepherd named Magnus also used to take his herd of sheep and goats to the nearby green hills for feeding them. He used to control his herd of sheep and goats to be all together at one place with a stick. This stick had a small piece of iron attached to it at one end. So one day, while he was on the way, while controlling his herd of sheep and goats for grazing, his stick got stuck on a rock on the mountainside. It was a little hard for him to pull that stick and to free it from the rock. He was truly surprised with this incident. He then realized that the stick was actually being attracted from the other side where it got attached to the rock. Then he realized the rock was a natural magnet and it attracted the iron tip of his stick. As this incident took place long back years ago, there was no written proof of this discovery, but it is the most accepted story of discovery of magnets. During the ancient times, such rocks were given the name magnetite, which was named after this shepherd named Magnus, who actually discovered it. The present day studies even say that magnetite metal contains iron. But few people believe that magnetite was discovered at a place called Magnesia. So there are many theories like this. The actual known fact over years is that the substances that have the property of attracting iron are known as magnets. And this story goes on. There are many theories to understand the discovery of magnets. We will continue this chapter in the next class. Thank you.